What up guys, SueMetal983 here bringing you another updates and purchases, and this is number 43 and the first one of 2021. So happy new year to everyone, and for those who have checked out my recent album review for the new Humanity's Last Breath album, absolutely incredible album. You need to check it out. It's in the forefront of being the album of the year for this year, but we already have some incredible albums that have been released this year that could give it a run for its money, but more on that in the upcoming future. But first off, I want to quickly dwell into something that I used to do but haven't done for in a while, and that is give a couple of shout outs to some channels that I've been watching lately, and to plug some direction towards them. And that is, the first one's going to go to Dean Lamb, who is the guitarist for Archspire. His YouTube channel is absolutely incredible. I'm really enjoying the 4 levels of death metal series that he's doing with his wife, I believe, or girlfriend, not too sure. But yeah, make sure you check out his channel. He is an absolutely incredible, insane guitarist, and so is she. Both incredible people doing absolutely incredible stuff, so make sure you check out their channel. And also I want to give a massive shout out also to Thralls of Metal channel that I've been watching a lot lately, watching their reviews, their albums ranked and CD updates. Make sure you check it out. There's, I believe, 4 guys on there doing separate videos, always active, always posting new content for you to check out, and it's absolutely incredible to watch. I've been discovering a lot of new bands and rekindling a lot of love for some older bands, in particular Morbid Angel and Cannibal Corpse lately, so definitely check out those guys if you haven't already. So yeah, what's been happening lately in my life, not a great deal has been happening, with COVID and stuff. The only 2 significant things that I can think to mention to you is one, me band Cass and Tephra dropped our first single, which is called Fallacy of Mine, featuring Christian of Detest, which I'll have a link to down below. It's the first track we've released from our upcoming EP, The Realm of Blissful Ignorance. If you're into deathcore or brutal deathcore with some beat down tempo and also blackened influence, then this is definitely a release that you've got to look forward to, and I'm super hyped to be releasing this. The full EP sounds absolutely massive, and I want to give a massive shout out to Andy Malaby from Osai for making us sound absolutely incredible and sound way better than we actually are. But yeah, honestly, absolutely incredible stuff, and I'm really excited to be releasing it, and it sounds fucking amazing. I can trust you on that. And the other update that I've got is I now have a roommate with me in my house now. I have a cat called Felix, which I adopted about, I think it was maybe a month and a half ago, and he's settled in very, very well. I'll post a picture here right now for you to see his adorable cuteness. In fact, I'll put a couple of pictures so you can see him, so here you go. Yeah, he's an absolute wonder. I absolutely love him to bits. He's quite a shy, timid cat, but in general, when he's next to us, he just wants to show you love and affection, and that's all I want from a little roommate, to be wandering around. He minds his own business, but in general, he just wants a lot of love and attention, and what more can I ask for a roommate? He's absolutely adorable, and everyone in the comments, leave a comment, say hi to Felix for me. So yeah, apart from that, I can't really think of anything else to say, but yeah, I'm going to try and get a little bit more confident with my videos lately, because I've been, in all honesty, lacking the motivation and determination to do videos lately. I mean, even album reviews and stuff like that, but I'm hoping that this is the start of it, because I want to do this video and hopefully it sets off a little motivation in me, but we'll see what happens. But generally, I have got a fair bit of stuff to showcase, so let's get into it. I've got a cup of tea all ready to go. Yeah, still hot. So yeah, we're going to whittle down what I've been getting over just before Christmas, when the last updates and purchases was. I know it was a 2-parter, but yeah, I've got quite a few shirts to showcase, surprise, surprise, CDs, a vinyl, a hat, and yeah, let's get on with it. I've got a couple of DVDs, but I haven't got all that many, so I'm going to wait and let it stack up a little bit, and then we'll showcase it in the next updates and purchases, because I feel like with us showing like 1 or 2 DVDs, it's not really much point. So next one, I'll showcase a few more, hopefully. Anyway, and a few of my friends have said they want to give us a couple of DVDs, so that'll be nice to showcase those. So anyway, let's start with a hat that I got for Christmas. It's a little manky, but yeah, it's one of my favourite deathcore albums of all times from the band Thy Art Is Murder, and you'll probably be able to guess straight away it's from their album Dear Desolation, and the artwork on the peak there. Absolutely incredible album, if you ask me. It's grown to become one of their best albums, in my personal opinion. Like, Hate will always be their best, in my opinion, but this one, a close second, if you ask me, and it matches the shirt that I've got, and yes, I do wear them together. Anyway, next, I got a hoodie for Christmas, and this one is an absolutely incredible album from last year. This is Sepultura's Quandra artwork hoodie with the Sepultura text down the left hand side, Quandra down the right hand side, and then on the back it's got the, if you bear with me, the emblem for the album, which in my opinion, as I said before, it's one of the better newer Sepultura albums. Like, it took me a while to click with Derek's vocals and with the newer Sepultura sound, but I'm starting to click with it, and it is growing on me a lot. Absolutely incredible stuff. Definitely their best of the Derek era, if you ask me. Alright, let's get into the shirts. First one, I got this from Indie Merch Store because I needed a new top of this band. This is Aborted with the Global Flatline artwork shirt. Yeah, this album is absolutely fucking incredible. In my personal opinion, I think it's the best Aborted album, and people may disagree with us, but let us know what your favourite album is of Aborted down below. They've got quite a few albums, so I would love to hear what you think. But yeah, love this design, and I do rep it quite a bit. I got this one for Christmas. This is After the Burial with their Evergreen artwork shirt. Got this from my mum and dad for Christmas, I believe. Yeah, absolutely love this album. Absolutely incredible. And I saw them on that tour with Ghost Iris and From Sorrow to Serenity, and I got the album signed, which I was buzzed about. Anyway, moving on, one of the best newer deathcore bands, Cabal, and this is the, what's this, Shower Me in Misery. I can't remember which song this is off the top of my head, but yeah, absolutely love this band, love this design. I'm hoping I do get to see them on the Humanity's Last Breath tour with Black Tongue, because that is going to be fire and just stupid heaviness all around. Anyway, next up, we've got a new Carnifex top, because me, was it Die Without Hope? I think it was. Die Without Hope album artwork shirt. It was a medium and it didn't really fit, so I sold it to my guitarist. And I ended up getting this one with a more spiky logo on there, and the design on the front there, and then on the back, One Nation Under Death Metal. Absolutely incredible design, and I love Carnifex. I'm pretty sure it's Die Without Hope. Yeah, Die Without Hope, that was the artwork shirt that I had, but, you know, boy gets big, doesn't he? Anyway, moving on. Next up we have a long sleeve, and this has become one of my favourite long sleeves to rep. It's absolutely incredible. The Cattle Decapitation, Death Atlas artwork. I mean, this album, man, absolutely incredible. And then down the sleeve, it's got Death Always Wins down the left-hand side, and on the, it's the same one on the other side, but on the back, it has the track lists in that sort of like normal font within the squiggly, like, signature sort of font. Really love that design, and I absolutely love this album, and it's grown to become one of my favourites of Cattle Decapitation, but Monolith of Inhumanity is still, yeah, I would say that one's just slightly, like, a maggot's eyelash better, just in my personal opinion. Anyway, next up, a big shout out to one of the best slam bands in the UK, Coprocephalic Mutation. I won a contest with them, and my shorts are in the wash there that I won. There's some green shorts, which I'll show them in the next updates and purchases, down one side, and then that on the other side. But yeah, it's the artwork for their EP that they released, or re-released through Brutal Mind, and I won a competition, and I was so buzzed when this came in the mail. I was blown away. It's such a comfy shirt, and yeah, absolutely love this design. Big shout out to Coprocephalic Mutation, one of the best bands in the UK scene, if you ask me. Just gonna take a quick drink. Back. Next up, we have Devon Townsend with Empath. This is kind of like one of the artwork shirts for the release of the album. And I love this album by Devon Townsend. He's a mastermind musician, and this shirt, it's so cool, man. It's just got such a good positive vibe to it, if you ask me. I know it's like Beast on there, but it just puts you in a good mood when you see it. I know, I'm weird. Get over it. Anyway, next up, one of the best albums from last year, Heaven Shall Burn with Of Truth and Sacrifice. Yeah, Of Truth and Sacrifice artwork shirt. Yeah, absolutely love this album and the artwork by Elran Creator, I think his name is. He's one of the best artists in metal, if you ask me, and this artwork shirt is absolutely incredible. Love that. And as you know, I'm trying to break away from black shirts, believe it or not. Trying to get some like different colour shirts, and I decided to get this one of Intronaut. It kind of feels like a pyjama top, but it's like a long sleeve or 3/4 sleeve, you could say. But yeah, really love that design of their album. What's it called? Habitual Levitations, Instilling Words with Tones. Yeah, that album artwork, which I think it's a really cool, simple design. I do wear this one quite a bit. It just feels very comfy, but still kind of feels like a pyjama top in some weird ways. Anyway, next up, I got this one in XL because I'm a large, usually, I know. But this one was available in XL on eBay, and I thought, you know what? I love this album. It's one of my favourite albums. I'm going to get it. And this is Camelot with their album. Oh, fucking hell, the album title's gone from my head. Wait there. Poetry for the Poisoned. Little hint, CD's down there. But yeah, it's the album artwork shirt for that, but it was from a tour that they did in 2011. And obviously I didn't go to that, but because it's the album artwork shirt and I'm a sucker for that, I had to get it. And to be honest, it's quite comfy, I'm not going to lie, but I still prefer a large t-shirt. I'm wearing a medium under here today, but I do prefer a large shirt. Anyway, this next one's a large shirt, and it's one of the best, in my opinion, metalcore, hardcore, beatdown bands going, and you know who I'm talking about. Knocked Loose, and this is a different shade of blue, artwork kind of shirt with that cool logo, and then on the back it's got this cool design. Really like that a lot. And yeah, a different shade of blue, like Laugh Tracks, in my opinion, it's a good album, but it's not that amazing compared to what they later released on A Different Shade of Blue. I think that album from beginning to end is absolute fire. But yeah, absolutely love this simple design. It kind of reminds us of me Straight From The Path top that I've got, like really simple on the front and then design on the back. Really cool stuff. Next up, oh, this will bring hellfire, this shirt, like. And so this album, this band, and I just want some more material because this is easily one of the best debut albums in death metal and probably in metal in general. I'm talking about Pseudo God with Deathworm Catechesis. I mean, wow, like, I had a Pseudo God top from Hell's Headbangers, but it was on Ultra Cotton and medium. So I can't really wear it because it shows the tub a little bit. But I've been wanting a shirt from them for so long, and they'd never done an album artwork shirt, and I was like praying, like nearly enough every night, one day. And then one day I decided to look on their Bandcamp, on their merch store, and they had hoodies and shirts available with those very few left of the shirts in large especially, and I was like, I'm gonna have to pull the trigger and buy it, and I'm so happy. I'll wear this non-stop. This is easily one of the best shirts in my collection, and it's got that really cool emblem on the back. I'm hoping to wear this one day when Casting Tephra returns to the stage and all bands return to the stage, because man, it's such a nice shirt. And another one of my favourite newer shirts that I've got, it's not a new one, it's second hand, but still absolutely love this, is the Putrepile House of Dementia artwork shirt. Yeah, one of the best brutal death metal albums of all time, if you ask me. And on the black it says House of Dementia, Savard Records. Yeah, I was going to get the new album artwork, but I'm not massive on the new album. And I saw this on eBay and I was just like, I have to score that. And I absolutely love this thing. Really, really cool design. Next up, one of the best modern death metal bands, and these guys are such an original sounding band, if you ask me. Combining elements of thrash, tech death, progressive metal, just all sorts. It's just absolutely incredible. I'm talking about Revocation, and this is the Outer Ones artwork shirt. I've been wanting a Revocation top for so fucking long, and I'm so happy to have one of my favourite bands on shirt, finally. Love that. Next up, we have SHOUTOUTS with their new album for Mass Failure. I got this through their Bandcamp, I believe, or Big Cartel, one of the two, along with the CD, which I'm buzzed to have the CD, and you'll see that in a few minutes. But yeah, love that design, love that shirt. I haven't worn it all that much, but yeah, it's still such a nice design. Next up, you know I'm a sucker for this band. Spiritbox with their Holy Roller pocket design. It's just got a simple thing on the side there, really cool, and then on the back it says, blood into wine, take my body instead. Spiritbox with this cool credit thing at the bottom. Nice simple design, really love that shirt, and I absolutely love that band, and just give us a full length album this year, please. Next up, I was meant to showcase this one in my last updates and purchase, but I completely forgot, and that is this Suicide Silence top. It's an OG one, and on the back it says, doctors won't be able to recognise your fucking face. Obviously a reference to Bludgeon to Death, and I got this on Depop, yeah, one of those. Yeah, I cut the sleeves off straight away, and I love this design. I love all Suicide Silence. I love every Suicide Silence, bar that new metal album. That was a bit questionable. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, we have Tesseract. Obviously, it's coming up to, I believe it is the 10th anniversary, or some anniversary of Altered State, which is my favourite Tesseract album. And they did a shirt for each segment of the album, and I loved all of them, but I had to get this one. I cannot remember which one it is for, but yeah, this design, man. Absolutely love Tesseract, and this artwork is just absolutely incredible. So yeah, I'm really, really happy to have those. So that's all the merch that we have today. And we are going to go into a vinyl and then the CDs. And we've got quite a few CDs with a few stories, so I'm going to try and whittle through them when we get there. But anyway, the only vinyl that I've got is one of the best albums from 2019. And I just cannot wait for these guys to release a new album. I'm talking about Fit for an Autopsy with the Sea of Tragic Beasts. And man, this album is just absolute fire from beginning to end. Like, especially the title track, The Sea of Tragic Beasts, that intro riff is just, ooh, it's just like a heavier Gojira, and throughout this album it kind of has those kind of Gojira elements, but with a lot, it's like Deathcore taking the Gojira concept and making it even heavier, if you ask me. But I absolutely love this album, and the main reason I wanted this is because of the vinyl variant. It comes on a gatefold with the lyrics in the middle there, and then you pull it out. I don't think it has a download code, no. So I'm just going to balance that. But, ooh, this is one of the best coloured vinyls in my collection. Pull it out. Just look at that splatter. It's orange splatter on a blue, semi-translucent blue with like pink, green, black splatter. Ooh, I'm a sucker for splatter vinyls, like, but man, this album is so good. And when I get my record player eventually set up, this will be one of those that I'll be making a boomerang of on Instagram. Because, you know, everyone does it. And don't act like you vinyl collectors don't, so. Because I see you on your Instagrams all the time. But yeah, great album. Check it out if you haven't already. I'll be very surprised if you haven't, and ashamed if you haven't. So, anyway, now we'll get on to the CD. So let's crack on with this one. And we're going to start off with a box set of Aborted with Retrogore. And this album has been on my want list for so long, especially this version, which contains the album Retrogore with 2 bonus tracks in digipack format, but also contains the Terminal Redux EP, which is the main reason I wanted it, and also contains a flag, which obviously I'm not going to get out. But yeah, absolutely love Aborted, and Retro Gore is, in my opinion, another fine album from these guys. I believe it followed up Global Flatline, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, it was the Global Flatline, Necrotic Manifesto, Retro Gore, then Terror Vision. Yeah, keeping myself right. And next up, we have 2 albums from the band Achilles that I got from their Bandcamp, which is The Dreaming Eye on Digipack. And then also we have Melanor, yeah, which is, in my opinion, their best album out of the 2. Great nightmarish sounding black metal, so if that sounds up your alley, then definitely check them out. Next up, we have Allegiant with Form Shifter, incredible modern sort of melodic, technical melodic death metal. Really good stuff. Alpha Wolf with A Quiet Place to Die. Really solid new metalcore. Then we have Amaranth with The Nexus. Incredible album. Then we have Amaranth with Maximalism. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I've started to really dig these guys lately, so I've got a couple of their albums, including their newest one, Manifest. This one's probably my favourite of their discography. Then we have The Amity Affliction with Misery, kind of their more alt-rocky sort of stuff, but really catchy, really fun. Now, later on, you're going to see a lot of a couple of discographies complete that I got from a friend of mine who messaged me saying, I've got a load of CDs, including this artist and this artist. Are you interested? And I was like, of course I'm interested. And he gave us a list of pictures of all the CDs, and I picked a load out and went and collected them. And yeah, absolutely incredible stuff that I got from, and the first one being Balsagoth with Starfire Burning Upon the Ice-Veiled Throne of Ultima Thule, I believe how it's pronounced. This one, yeah, some classic kind of, if I'm not mistaken, it was symphonic black metal or melodic black metal, one of the two. I haven't listened to this album in a while, so I'm looking forward to rekindling my love with that one, because I remember it being really sick. Next up, some great UK black metal in the shape of Blaspheme with Iniquity in Salvation. Yeah, make sure you check out these guys if you're into the black metal stuff. Absolutely incredible. Then we have a couple of Breaking Benjamin albums. We have Phobia, absolutely incredible album. Then we have Ember, another incredible release from these guys. I'm really digging Breaking Benjamin. I'm aiming to complete their discography within the next year, definitely. Next up, a couple of August Burns Red albums. I said I was going to aim to complete their discography, and I only need their debut album now, because I got Leveler. This is the special edition version, Digipack. Really solid album. Then we have their latest album entitled Guardians, which in my opinion is their riffiest stuff to date. Then we have Cabal with Drag Me Down. Yeah, another great album from last year. As I said, these are one of my favourite newer deathcore bands, if that sounds up your alley. If you're into black and deathcore, or even a bit of progressive deathcore, then this is definitely stuff for you. It's really riffy, very groovy stuff. Rest in peace, Alexei Lehu. Yeah, I'm not good at pronunciation. Who sadly passed away, and it made us realise that I was missing one album from my discography of theirs, which is their latest one, Hexed, which is a really solid album, if you ask me. Then we have Carcass Despicable EP. I'm looking forward to their full length, because this is a really solid EP. One of my favourites from last year, Code Orange with Underneath. Really amazing record. Then we have Corpus Violent Mutation with I think it's D.3.1.4. No idea what that means, but yeah, really solid EP. Make sure you check out these guys. Incredible slam from the UK. Then we have Counterparts with Tragedy Still Finds Us. Yeah, really love this album. It made us realise I was missing quite a bit of this band's discography. Well, quite a few stuff in my collection. I'll get my words right. I haven't had any albums of them in my collection, so I needed to pick up a couple. So this was one of them, and the other one was You're Not You Anymore, which another incredible album. In fact, I think I prefer this one to Tragedy Still Finds Us. I know they're both incredible albums, but I just prefer that one. Another one from that bundle that I picked up was Cradle of Filth, Lovecraft and Witch Hearts, which I've got, I think, all the studio albums from Cradle of Filth, so I'm just getting their EPs and compilations as I go. Then we have Crystal Lake with Helix, one of my favourite metalcore albums, or modern metalcore albums. Incredible stuff. Then we're on to pile 2 with Elven King with The Winter's Wake. Yeah, one of my favourite albums from back in the day. I used to jam this one all the time. I think it was back in like 2010, something like that. I used to spin this quite a lot. And ever since then, it's eluded us, and then I finally rekindled my love for this one. But incredible album, if you ask me. Breaking away from the metal, we have Emblem with Music to Be Murdered By Deluxe Edition, which is obviously side B, but it also contains side A as well. 2-disc set. Yeah, I like this album. I haven't listened to side A yet, but side B is absolutely incredible Emblem, if you ask me. I still think I prefer Kamikaze, personally. Then we have Enslaved with M. Extio with Romulus, which is a slipcase. Yeah, very nice, great album. One of my favourites from last year, Tephra King, The Path. Now, next up, I got these two. I know I had one of them in my collection, but someone was selling them on eBay. Both of them together for like £11, something like that. And I was like, I'm never going to miss this opportunity, and I'll give the other copy to me auntie because she's a massive fan of them. I'm talking about Five Finger Death Punch, and I needed to get this one, which is The Wrong Side of Heaven and Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 1, which has the DVD in it. I was after this version specifically because I already had The Wrong Side of Hell and The Righteous Side... The Wrong Side of Heaven and The Righteous Side of Hell, Volume 2, already in my collection, but I gave a copy to me auntie, so yeah. So I've got both of them now, which I'm very happy about, because Part 1 is my favourite Five Finger album. And then, I know we're talking about Five Finger Death Punch, and I know people's going to be like, oh, for fuck's sake, another one of those, you know, Kyle drywall punching, monster drinking cunts. Whatever. Anyway, I love their new album, F8, or Fate. Yeah, I think it's Fate. I'm sure it is. But yeah, really love this album. It's kind of like, reminds us a little bit more of War is the Answer than any of the other modern stuff that they brought out, and I think this outweighs And Justice for None and Got Your Six, because those albums, in my opinion, were just boring pieces of shite. But this album is incredible, if you ask me. And I know, well, Five Finger Death Punch have always been shite. Fuck off. Anyway, moving on, another great album from last year, and yeah, great black metal. I believe it's pronounced Gyara, or something like that, with their album Limbo. If you're into black metal, definitely check this one out. Really impressed me last year. Then we have another one from last year, Ground Culture, with their debut album called How Well Do You Really Know Yourself. Yeah, it's a really small digi-sleeve sort of thing, which it's alright. It's just not my favourite type of packaging, but the album itself is absolutely incredible. Then we have two albums from the band that, in my opinion, one of the best brutal death metal bands of all time. Guttural Secrete with their debut album called Reek of Pubescent Despoilment. I think that's what it's pronounced. Yeah, I can barely read the text. And then we have their second album entitled Nourishing the Spoil, which is this one. So I'm really happy to have both these brutal death metal masterpieces in my collection. Took me long enough, I can tell you that. Anyway, and one other thing, the digipack, the size of it doesn't quite fit in the jewel case properly, which really irks us a little bit. Anyway, moving on. We have Holding Absence with their self-titled album. Now, these guys, their new album, I am so hyped for, because the 2 tracks that they've dropped have been incredible. Whereas this album, it's absolutely incredible, but I'm more looking forward to the new album. But after hearing those new stuff, I went back to this one and was really impressed with it, so I had to pick it up. First 2019 CD that I've got, and that is Humanity's Last Breath with their new album, Välde, I believe how it's pronounced. Check out my review if you haven't already. Flinging CDs everywhere. But yeah, I'm flinging you towards checking out that video. Anyway, moving on. We have Ingested with Where Only Gods May Tread. I reviewed this one as well, one of the best of last year. Definitely taking a bit more of a lesser is more approach, but still absolute fire if you ask me. Then we have Intronaut with The Direction of Last Things. Yeah, absolutely incredible album. Definitely one of my favourite progressive releases of all time. Just absolutely incredible from beginning to end. And speaking of favourite albums of all time, this one's definitely one of them. Justin Timberlake, Future Sex, Love Sound. Judge me all you want. I love Justin Timberlake's Future Sex, Love Sound. It's such a catchy album, such fun. His debut album, Justified, is another incredible one that's on my want list. And I think the 2020 Experience, the double albums, are ones that I want. But I haven't checked out his later stuff, so I might have to do that. But yeah, love this album. Get real, man. Don't be just listen to metal rock. Fuck off. Get the catchy shit in there. Anyway, next up we have Camelot with Poetry for the Poisoned. Once again, another great album, and I says one of my favourites. I just love this album. It's so good. Then we have Cataclysm with Meditations. Meditations? Yeah. Absolutely incredible album. To be honest, like, I really wasn't vibing with this album, especially Guillotine, the first track, when they first dropped that. I hated the guitar tone on it. It just sounded so fake. It literally sounded like Guitar Pro, but it had gone through an official studio. It just sounded fake, if you ask me. But then after listening to it, I started to understand like the direction they're starting to go for, and with like more groove metal influence. But I really dig this album. I was just being a bit of a stupid cunt, really. Anyway, next up, we're going to go into one of the bands that I was telling you that I picked up from that guy. I've got two discographies in here, and they are both relating. And one of them is King Diamond. The other one is Merciful Fate. Did you guess? Anyway, and I got all of King Diamond's albums, so we're going to whittle through all these right now. Starting off with Fatal Portrait, which is a double album featuring Abigail, which is like I'm forgetting what it's called. It was one of those Two from the Vault albums, and yeah, let's get back in. So Abigail is on the inside, but I keep Fatal Portrait out there because, you know, keep it in order. So I'm going to put that there. And then I got Abigail on a special like case, but one disc was missing, so I've got that one with the Abigail album in, but I kind of like this one being on the shelf, so I didn't decide to get rid of it, so it's in my collection. So maybe one day, if I see it on eBay, I'll get it and just get the CD put in there. And all these, they're quite beat up, and I do need to replace all the dual cases at some point, but that'll come in the upcoming future. Then we have the King Diamond remasters of Them. I'm going to try and whittle through these. Then we have The Dark Sides, which, if I'm not mistaken, is an EP, if I'm not mistaken. Then we have Conspiracy, I believe. Yeah, Conspiracy. I am looking forward to checking out all these out. Listen to Abigail, and I forgot how good that album was. Then we have The Eye. Yeah, The Eye. Then we have Spider's Lullaby. The Graveyard. Yeah, these are pretty big up, these. But the Digipacks, I can live with those. Then we have Voodoo. And if you may be wondering, why did you get all of them? Because, well, I do like some King Diamond, so I thought, you know, it's the best way to get into them and just enforce us to kind of check them out a bit more. But anyway, next up we have House of God. I love that artwork, I might as well say. And we have Nightmares in the 90s, an introduction to the artist, which it's a compilation if I'm not mistaken, but you know what, if I decide to get rid of it, I get rid of it, but I've got all the albums anyway. Then we have King Diamond and Black Rose, 20 years ago, A Night of Rehearsal, which, yeah, it's a compilation sort of thing, I guess. Then we have Abigail 2. Then we have The Puppet Master. Then we have Deadly Lullabies Live, which I'm not big on live albums, but you know what, it's a live album in my collection, I don't care. And then we have the final one, Give Me Your Soul, Please. I think that's what that says. Yeah, so that's all the King Diamond's albums that I've got in my CD collection, so I'll get through them eventually, and then we'll get the other discography in a second, after I show you Corporate Colony's Cock Kilo. Once again, incredible album. Lamb of God, self-titled. It's better than Stir and Drang. Like I said, it was my album of the year back in 2015, I think it was, or 2016, and it hasn't withstood the test of time, if you ask me. It's got some good songs on there, but you know. But this one, in my opinion, is a bit of a step up, if you ask me. Then we have an old school technical deathcore album that more people need to hear, and this may appear in a Super Metal recommendations. Last Felony with Too Many Humans. Oh, deadly album. Then we have Loathe with I Let It In and It Took Everything. Yeah, this album, I wish I'd spun it a little bit more last year, because this would have been in my top albums, but great album nonetheless. Next up, I didn't realise this one was released on CD, but when I saw it, I had to pick it up. Mark Morton with Anesthetic, I believe how it's pronounced. It features a load of guest spots on this album, including the late Chester Bennington doing the song Cross Off, which has become an absolute jam lately, so really happy to have this album in my collection. And then, as I said about Merciful Fate, I got all the albums here. Well, you know, like most of them there are the Merciful Fate albums, so we're going to go through them anyway. And we are starting off with the debut album, Melissa. Yeah, Melissa. And by the way, I've never listened to any Merciful Fate yet, so I got them because if it sounds like King Diamond, it sounds like King Diamond, so I'm going to like it. So, yeah, tell us which album's the best one to check out in the comments down below. So we have Melissa. This is like a special edition, 2 discs. Yeah, as I said, the albums have seen better days. And then we have Don't Break the Oath, which I believe was critically acclaimed to be their best. I could be wrong, but it might be Melissa. I'm not too sure. Then we have The Beginning, which I believe is an album or a compilation. Can't remember. Then we have In the Shadows. And then we have Time, which this one's proper beat, but yeah, happy to have that. Then we have Into the Unknown, which has sellotape and all that over it, so I'm definitely going to have to replace this one. And then I believe these are the last two. We have Dead Again. And then we have 9. And then they call that a self-titled album. But yeah, happy to have all those, and I will make my way through them as I go. I'm in an old school sort of mood at the moment, so maybe I'll give myself a listen to one of them later on. Then we have an old album that I haven't listened to for ages, and then I saw it on a compilation on YouTube, and I was like, I haven't listened to that in a while, and I put it on, and I fell back in over there. I'm talking about Nemec with Nemesis, or it's got a silent M in there, or if you want a Nemesis, whatever. Anyway, yeah, industrial groove metal sort of stuff, so if that sounds up your alley, definitely give this one a vibe. It's definitely a catchy album, if you ask me, and got some good riffs on there. Then we have Kneel to Obscurity with Black Frost, another great album from these guys. Then we'll go into the final pile, so let's get on with it, with The Ocean Collective with Phanerosic 1. Yeah, I'm not even going to fucking pronounce that. But yeah, another great album from The Ocean. I was very vibing with these guys around, I think it was like late last year, something like that. And yeah, this album is absolutely incredible, and the Cream one that followed was absolutely incredible, and I've started listening to their older stuff, so yeah, I'm aiming to get all their discography at some point. Ocean's 8 Alaska with Hikari, I believe how it's pronounced. I just got this cheap on Amazon just to have both of their albums, but I remember that album not being the best. And then we have Rammstein with Rosenrot. Yeah, it's a special edition sort of thing, and I haven't listened to this album, but I do love some Rammstein riffs, so really looking forward to checking that out. Then we have, speaking of Revocation, we have their self-titled album, which didn't vibe with this album when I first when I first heard it, but when it came out in, when was it? 2013, I wasn't massively keen on it, but when I went back to it recently, I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Then we have the album that started my love for Revocation, which was Deathless. I mean, riffs, absolute riffs. And speaking of riffs, we have Revulsion with Enough to Bleed. Definitely one of my favourites of last year, and it hits so fucking hard, guys. So good. Then we have a very underrated album. This will appear in a Super Metal recommendations. Scar the Martyr, self-titled. Yeah, Joey Jordison's project after Slipknot, which then renamed to Vimic, and now he's doing Sinsanum. So I don't know which band he's in nowadays, but Vimic, I believe they were teasing something, or they released an EP or something like that, but Scar the Martyr, they ended their career far too soon, if you ask me. I know it's now kind of Vimic, but I think that album was absolutely incredible. Then we have Scordatura with Mass Failure. Check out my review if you haven't already. Then we have Shush with Hell. And then we have Shush with Hell. Yeah, just two alternative versions that came with like a pre-order, I don't know. But yeah, exact same album, just with different layouts. And they look pretty cool, if you ask me. So I'm happy to have both of those. Then we have Syriana with, what's this? I think it's Dim Days of Dollar. Yeah, this one. Yeah, really solid album. These are easily one of my favourites in the whole symphonic metal sort of realm, you know, like up there with the likes of Epica. These are up there. These are definitely riffier than Epica. So if it sounds up your alley, it's meatier, definitely check this one out. And if you've got any meaty symphonic metal bands to check out, let us know in the comments. Then we have one of my favourite black metal albums, Sorcier Disglace with Snowland. Been after this album for so fucking long, and they pressed it on CD and or repressed it, and I made a bigger line for it. Incredible stuff. Then we have Strapping Young Lad with City. Then we have Strapping Young Lad with Alien, which this album, I know it's a classic, I still haven't got around to it, but I have heard the song Love before, and it's a classic jam, if you ask me. Back when he had that kind of like skullet thing with the dreadlocks, he looked so weird. Then we have Street Soldier with Turn Dangerous, another EP from these guys, but they've upped their game to 6 tracks, and man, this stuff, it's the best hardcore around, if you ask me. And then as bonus tracks, pretty much to make it a full-length album, you could say, it's got the One Man Gang EP, the Hard Mentality EP, and the Northern Hate EP on there as well. So it's basically, what's that? 339, that's 6. 15 tracks of UK hardcore, just incredible. Absolutely love Street Soldier, and I'm going to send me love out to the boys. Love them. Next up, we have Suicide Silence with Become the Hunter. I just thought it was going to be the self-titled album. I'm not going to lie, one day that will end up me collecting, just to keep it, you know, complete. But this album, in my opinion, is what should have followed You Can't Stop Me. Because this is 2 Steps, Love Me to Death, Feel Alive, the title track, just so goddamn good. I love the riffs on this album. And one I completely forgot about that was so good was Textures with Dualism. Oh god, such a good album. Forgot how good it was. One of the best black metal albums. We have Thantifaxeth, if I can't even fucking pronounce it. Sacred White Noise. What an album. If you haven't heard this album, have a fucking word with yourself and get on it. It's incredible. Then we have Wednesday 13 with Necroface. Never been a massive fan of Wednesday 13, to be honest. I'm not into that kind of like horror, sort of punk, sort of industrial, you know, that sort of stuff. Like Marilyn Manson, I can't even get away with that shit. And Murder Dolls, I hated Murder Dolls back in the day. But yeah, this album, really, really good stuff. Really enjoyed it. More than I thought I was going to. Then we have the new Within Destruction with Yokai. Yeah. Is it Yokai? Yeah, Yokai. In this slipcase. Yeah. Really, really enjoy this album. Check out the review if you haven't already. It's different, and it's a different game changer for the deathcore genre if it's getting more modern. Or as it progresses into a more modern sound. Yeah, but I still prefer Void and Deathless. Then we have Within the Ruins with Elite. this album's been missing from my collection for so fucking long. So glad to finally have it. Then we have a compilation from that King Diamond set, which is A Dangerous Meeting, which I believe is King Diamond. It's not exactly King Diamond, but it came up. It's King Diamond and Merciful Fate on here, but it only has the King Diamond logo. So I considered it a compilation, like an actual compilation. So it's in the compilation section in my collection. Too many mentions of compilation. And then the final one is the new, I'm going to try and pronounce this, the Vulvocrania split of Acrania and Vulvodynia. I can't even fucking pronounce this. Societal Lobotomization. Fucking hell. It's the first release under Rising Merch, their first official release. There's the logo, featuring 2 tracks from each band. Absolutely killing it. In my personal opinion, I think I prefer the Arcrania side just a little bit more. But honestly, and I love the logo containing both bands. So yeah. If this sounds up your alley, if you're into slam, brutal deathcore, then this is definitely up your alley. Definitely check it out. I cannot wait to see what both bands bring forward in the upcoming future, because I know Arcrania is going to do something in the upcoming future, and Vulvodynia is, I think, teasing a new album, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whatever comes from this band, because both these absolutely, or 4 tracks, absolutely kill. So, a lot of stuttering in this one, but what can you do? I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, but we'll see what happens in the upcoming future. Hopefully I can do more videos, more reviews, more suit metal recommendations, and maybe even updates and purchases again in the upcoming future. We'll see what happens. I'm just trying to get a bit more motivation, but we've all felt that before when it comes to YouTube. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you until the next video, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.